I'm Megan.
I'm Christy.
And we are
Homebrew
Murder Crew.
If you're watching, and you've seen that on camera, my ears just popped and so I was like,
oh, I hate
that.
So
it felt kind of weird.
Yucky.
Do you have any news to share? I know we're kind of been sticking out of the news. Everything's sad these days.
I've been avoiding the news.
Yeah.
I haven't really seen anything much.
Yeah.
Recently. No.
Yeah.
You?
Trump be trumping, and I feel like 2026 is just a big shift year. Yeah. And
it's been pretty fucked so far.
Yeah.
It's been wild. But you know what? On a brighter note, my work as a team building played a battle royale of Dungeons and Dragons on Thursday, and it was we had plans to go to Activate, which for those of you who aren't familiar, it's an interactive puzzle room game that you go to. So you get a little wristband, and you can go to these different rooms and play these different puzzle games, and one of them's you gotta crawl under lasers and avoid lasers, and another one is you gotta hit buttons on a wall, and this big eye goes around, and when it stops, you have to hide behind a pillar from it. It's really fucking cool.
That's cool.
But before that, we had arranged with our operations manager from West Hills to run a campaign or a game of Dungeons and Dragons with us. So he shows up, and he's got the whole setup. He's got the board up so we can't see what he's got going on there. And he had brought dice for everybody, and he pre-created characters, and he had this whole game sheet out with
was he the dungeon master?
He was the dungeon master.
Yeah. Cool. And I've never played, but it sounds fun.
Ran us through a battle royale, and there was 8 of us in total, 9 with him.
Mm-hmm.
We just ate pizza and we played it. We're supposed to play it until 3:00, and then we were supposed to go to Activate, or 2:30, sorry, and then we're supposed to go to Activate and then be done by 4. But we got so into Dungeons and Dragons that we did not go to Activate.
Really?
We stayed and we played. And then our boss was like, well, if we're not going to go to Activate, then we can leave an hour early. Yeah. We were there a half an hour past our workday. And the only reason we ended the game is because I was the last one on my team, and I had only lost 1 hit. I was down 1 hit point. But I ended up conceding because I was like, shit, I gotta go home. But we could have kept going. All 8 of us were so into this. It was amazing. It was the best time
fun.
I've ever had with a group of people that I work with.
Yeah. And Activate sounds incredible. I'm I want to do this for my birthday.
Do it. It's amazing. It's such a good workout.
Yeah.
And it's so fun and competitive.
You've
and
been already?
Yes. Yeah. I went with the girls, with Mark and the girls one time, and we had so much fun.
We should double date.
We should.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's so competitive, and what do you do teamwork if there's stuff too? But it's a lot of fun. And it's a very good workout.
Yeah.
It's really fun.
Double date with the kids.
Yeah.
Maybe too.
Yeah.
Do you
think girls love it?
Do you think M would be?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Could still, yeah.
Yeah. I think he would be okay. Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Well,
sorry.
No, don't be sorry. I like good news. Good news is good.
I needed to just share that because, there's been a lot, work's been crappy. I mean, it's not crappy, but the world has been crappy.
Yeah, it has.
There's still, fun out there.
Yeah. We, again, missed last week, so apologies for that. Obviously, if you listened to our last episode, you understand, pardon me, a little bit about what's going on in my life and why that might prevent me from having the capacity to research and whatever. But also just a heads up that might continue a little bit. So we might be every other week. I don't know.
Yeah.
But stay tuned for the end of the episode. If you're normally somebody who signs off after the story ends, we do have an announcement to make about how we are going to change kind of our schedule a little bit. Nothing bad.
No.
It's going to be good. And we'll get into that at the end. But without further ado,
I just want to point out that Christy not only has her computer in front of her, but she has written notes.
So this
handwritten notes,
I know.
y'all.
So again, because my brain is so fucking scattered and I can't figure out how to put my thoughts in like I normally do.
Yeah.
But my episode today, there's some that's typed and some that's written. As I was watching this episode, I was taking notes.
I love it.
So this is from, now I forget the name of the fucking show that I was watching. It's Forensic Factor, I think, on Netflix. And
never seen that one.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's season 2, episode 5. And that's all I'll say for now. But obviously I'll link them in my sources. I just want to confirm the name of this show. Don't need to send me notifications. Forensic Factor, A New Era is what it's called. Pardon me. There's 2 seasons.
The cover?
It changes it wasn't this cover yesterday.
Okay.
So I don't know.
I definitely haven't seen that.
But yeah, it's quite good. I like it. I enjoy it. So anyways, here we go. So on the night of November 15th, 2010, a young woman who attended the nearby Curry College in Milton, Massachusetts, happened upon a mutilated body of a young Black male on a quiet $1 million residential street. So Milton, Massachusetts is a suburb of Boston, and like rich homes.
Yeah.
Rich homes.
Yeah,
so
is it a gated community?
I don't know for sure, but like certainly the crime rate here is very low. It's kind of hard to read my notes here. It's a little dark, but I'll make do. So Louis Boulard was the responding officer, and he noted brain matter and just like, this is a gruesome scene, and brain matter extended. It extended about 50 feet onto a white door of a nearby house. Like, this is how far this went, right? And is this gonna... is it plugged in?
No, it's fine.
Oh, okay.
No, you're fine.
I was like, okay.
You can even close the screen out.
Oh,
sorry. I just thought you might want
I like it. Thank you. It's like glaring at me now. But extended 50 feet onto a white door of a nearby house. So investigators initially thought that this was like some sort of drug thing gone wrong, that this man was murdered somewhere else and dumped here and ran over, because there's a very obvious absence of gunshot wounds or stab wounds or anything like that.
He's clearly been beaten though. Like,
yeah. And
at this point, they don't know the blood splatter.
Well, yeah.
From there to the...
we'll get into it. We will get into it. Sorry. So a 911 caller, he was driving with his wife when a group of college girls flagged him down to call 911. So that's the caller. And then the girls, they'd been circling the area, and police found that to be kind of suspicious.
That is like, kind of suspicious.
Why are you going back and forth? This is kind of like a cul-de-sac as well. Why are you going back and forth? And furthermore, why didn't you call 911? And so they were interviewed. Obviously.
Sorry, what year did this happen?
This was in 2010.
2010. So I mean, we had cell phones.
We had cell phones, yeah. And so they were questioned. The girl said that they were heading for this mall nearby, and they took a wrong turn and got lost. They saw the body, but this didn't make sense to investigators because their destination was like 4 miles away. So how would you take such a wrong fucking turn, right?
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
The examination of the vehicle, it had tissue and brain matter on the Jeep. This is like a black Jeep.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. So tissue and brain matter were on the Jeep. So they had probable cause to seize the vehicle.
Yeah.
But the girls were allowed to return home. So they couldn't hold them for anything. They just wanted to seize the vehicle and search it further.
That's a little bit strange.
Mm-hmm. So neighbors, when they kind of scouted the neighborhood here. What do they call that? Case the neighborhood? No. When they interview the neighbors, what do they call that?
Casing the neighborhood, I think.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like something's wrong, but they talked to the neighbors, and some neighbors reported hearing a loud bang or a thud. One neighbor said that they saw a white Audi leaving the area, but the girls never mentioned this. So, yeah, the 911 caller had cameras all over his home, and it was nearby. So they checked the footage, and they see, lo and behold, a white Audi, following the girl's black Jeep.
Following
it, circling the area numerous times. So they think at this point this white Audi is clearly involved, and they shift their focus again onto these college students. The evidence and the autopsy, though, were puzzling.
I'd say.
Here's where I switch to my notes. And then I have to scroll as well. So the autopsy conducted by the Massachusetts Office of the Chief Medical Examiner revealed that this man had suffered catastrophic injuries consistent with a fall from a significant height. The trauma included extensive head injuries, multiple fractures all over his body, severe lacerations. There, again, was no evidence of gunshot wounds, stab wounds, or other forms of assault. And the pattern of injuries combined with the absence of defensive wounds or signs of a struggle led experts to conclude that the cause of death was not consistent with like a murder, essentially.
Or about being hit by a car.
So that's things that we'll talk about too.
That's what I would conclude from just that little bit of information.
Right, because initially police thought that it looked like he could have been dumped and then ran over. Maybe he was hit by a car,
Yeah.
So there were no gunshot wounds, multiple fractures, there was head trauma, and all his trauma overall was too severe for a beating.
Okay.
As well. So then they're thinking, was he hit by a car? Was he murdered and placed there after? So the cause and manner of death at this point after the autopsy were unknown. They were listed as unknown. He had like significant road rash that they noted on like initial investigation at the crime scene. But it turned out that wasn't road rash at all. It was actually stamping. Like the pavement literally got stamped into the victim's body.
Did he like...
So
was he like skydiving or something?
Or... So that's where the autopsy or the medical examiner is like, well, did he fall from a bridge, a high building? But that's not likely in a suburban area with 2-story houses and no bridges. Like, okay, if this was like downtown New York, possibly. But there was nothing other than like a forested area kind of off or whatever. But to fall from a tree, maybe? I don't know. But
jump from the roof of one of the houses and then get pushed out to the road?
Like, but the way that if you see in the street and how it's set up, it's not likely.
Stamped by the road.
Yeah, you stamped by the road.
You hit the road somehow from a high distance. Okay,
yeah.
This is intriguing.
So
very interesting. Yes.
Investigators had not seen this. They are puzzled, beyond puzzled.
This is almost kind of not really sounding like a murder at this point. Like this sounds like maybe a horrible accident. But how did these girls have blood matter, like brain matter, stuff on their car?
Right. So they're trying to find this white car, this white Audi that fled the scene, and they find it, and there's brain matter under the carriage of the car as well.
Oh, they ran over him after he hit the ground?
That's what they're thinking. So the Curry College students are looking pretty juicy at this point for investigators. So they go back and talk to them.
Yeah, because I feel like them driving around the neighborhood, like if he was doing something he shouldn't have been doing up in the sky, were they looking for him? Like maybe he was paragliding, and they were like, where is he? That's what it sounds like.
I like your thought process, though.
Yeah. And then and then they were like, oh shit.
Yeah. Well, that ain't it, but
okay.
But
that's
it. Not a bad guess, honestly. Okay. So they focus on these Curry College girls and they talk to them again, and this time the students reveal more details. So the girls admit that they were not forthcoming at first.
Okay.
And they did lie a little bit. They were not
girls.
They were not going to the mall. They were actually going to Briar Street, which is where he was found. The body was found. They were going to Briar Street to smoke some weed. And they can't risk getting caught smoking on campus because they'll get expelled. So they told what they thought was a little white lie because they didn't want to get caught with this drugs and all this stuff.
Okay.
Girl, dump the weed and say, we were here just to smoke weed, because there's a literal dead body and your car's covered in brain matter.
And there's nothing they can do about it if you don't have it on you.
Yeah. So, and then, so they couldn't get caught smoking on campus or they'd get expelled. Now, the girl that was driving the Audi, she's high. So she drives by this body first, and then she calls her friend in the Jeep to come check it out. Like, dude, look at this. Like, you need to come see this. I don't know what I'm seeing. I'm high as fucking a kite here, and I'm tripping balls. So the Jeep comes, they drive by a couple of times and to look at this. They can't believe what they're seeing. So they do a couple pass-bys just to be sure. And then they flag down the 911 caller for help. So possibly they were just too high to call 911.
Yeah, and you know what? To play devil's advocate to like 2010 college student, it kind of makes sense that they would lie because they could get kicked out of college.
Right.
It would be really bad.
But also think about in the sense too, as devil's advocate, is like you're college students, you're all together, you're high, you're fucking high, and you're both seeing this, but you're both fucking high. So it's like, let's maybe flag down somebody who's hopefully not high and who can confirm this and maybe be a responsible adult that we can't be right now. Right.
Yeah. And I can understand their lie because they're afraid to admit that they would.
For sure. Yeah. For sure.
But I'm sure the cops are going to overlook that because of circumstances being what they are.
Yeah. Now, because now the Audi is also found having brain matter on it and everything, and the Jeep, the detectives call in car accident reconstructionists to examine the vehicles. Okay. So there's no signs that these vehicles hit anybody. Like there's no impact damage.
Driving down the road that he was on, it got the...
So they ruled out a pedestrian collision. The biological matter that was found on the vehicles was really only because that matter was strewn about the road already.
Yeah.
So as they were passing by multiple times, it was just contact with that. So the hit by car theory is eliminated. They couldn't decipher, no, I'm not going to talk about that right now.
So the college girls essentially had nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
Okay. They were just the unfortunate ones that were high at the time and stumbled across the body, and then they were afraid to. Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair.
So another thing to note about the body is when they found it, he had no shirt on. He had pants. They were like ripped and just torn to shit. He had no shoes on. He had no ID, nothing.
Was he in a hot air balloon? Did he?
I'm not going to tell you
hot air balloon
until we get there.
Was he just like crazy partying and they were like, we got a hot air balloon, let's take it up in the night? And then I don't know.
No, that would be crazy. But the medical examiner who performed the autopsy did actually find a note in his pocket.
Ooh.
So Detective Bullard, he looks at the note. It looks like this little sticky note, and he can only read on it and decipher what says a lunch on it, but he recognized it somehow to be some sort of a hall pass and realized that this kid is in high school.
Ooh. He's a baby.
He's a baby. So they submit the note to the public, and it went across the country.
Yeah.
And within 24 hours, they get a call from the young boy's aunt that identified him as her nephew, Delvonte Tisdale, a 16-year-old high school student.
Oh, no.
He was reported missing from Charlotte, North Carolina. So what the fuck is he doing in Massachusetts, which is 800 miles away from his home?
Whoa.
And he was missing for about 3 days before the family made the report. So let's talk a little bit.
Now that is fucking wild.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about who Delvonte is.
Oh, no. He's a baby.
Yeah. So Delvonte Stephon Tisdale was born on November 8th, 1994 in Baltimore, Maryland, to Jeanette Washington and Anthony Tisdale. He's part of a large blended family with 7 brothers, 3 sisters, and was described by relatives and friends as bright, athletic, and ambitious. His early years were spent in Baltimore, but following his parents' divorce, he moved to Greensboro, North Carolina, and then later to Charlotte to live with his father. At the time of his death, Delvonte was a sophomore at North Mecklenburg High School in Charlotte. where he was an active member of the Air Force Junior Reserve Officer Training Corps, or the Junior ROTC program. And his involvement with the Junior ROTC reflected his aspirations for a military career, and he was known for his positive attitude, confidence, and sense of adventure. Family members and teachers described him as adventurous and playful, with a strong sense of self-assurance and a passion for aviation and service. Um, he was just like described as an all-around good kid. Like, he really cared about his family. He really cared about people. His brother Kenneth said that he was a very caring boy. He did well in school. Again, he was into sports, interested in aviation, and wanted to go into the Air Force.
Okay, aviation.
Mhm.
Oh, hey. I think
The
that's
wheels
something.
be turning.
That's something to keep in your
your
little
noggin, yeah.
noggin there, everybody that is listening.
Megan is always very perceptive
You
to
gotta, yeah,
things.
I think so.
Oh, I got this wet. Whoops.
Oopsies.
So they talked to the aunt to confirm all the details, and he's 800 miles away from his home.
That's fucking wild.
Detectives fly to Charlotte to find his family, and then they go to his house. He shared a room with his brother. So he lived with his dad in Charlotte, and then he lived with a brother whose name was... The fuck did I write his name down here for? Daquan. His brother's name is Daquan, and he shared a room with Daquan. But detectives they fly to Charlotte, they look through his room and everything, and they end up like taking samples of like hair, and they take fingerprint samples off of his belongings and stuff like that. And then they were able to identify him that way, because initially like the medical examiner did take fingerprint impressions and run it, but there was no match. Like, he's a 16-year-old good boy.
He doesn't have he's not in the system.
Yeah. So who saw him last is the question. So at 1:30 a.m. on November 15th, 2010, he tells his brother that he would see him later. He wakes up from sleep and he tells his brother, "I'll see you later."
A 16-year-old at 1:30 a.m.?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And
interesting.
yeah, so his stepmom comes into the room at about 5:45 a.m. and asks his brother Daquan, where's Delvonte? And he just replied, "He's gone."
Is Daquan the last one who saw him then?
Technically, yes.
Uh-oh.
Well, no, technically not.
Okay.
No.
Okay. So we can rule out Daquan?
Yes.
Cross him out?
20 hours later, Delvonte was found dead.
Oh, no.
7 states away.
Yeah.
On the outskirts of Boston.
How many hours later?
20 hours.
But wasn't he missing for 3 days?
Yes. But, well, his family reported him missing after 3 days or something.
Okay.
Right? But they didn't. Yeah. This is just like, we know the timeline now.
Okay.
So 1:30 a.m. we know is when he left the house. And then 20 hours later, he was found dead. But nobody knew this yet.
Oh,
right?
Okay.
Yeah. Like, his family didn't know this.
Okay, sorry. So it was like 3 days later when his aunt...
Like, they're still looking for him and wondering where the fuck.
Okay.
And then they report him missing to
No,
Charlotte
I just wanted to get the timer.
police.
Okay,
Yeah.
so 20 hours later, he was actually, in fact, found.
Yeah. But then he's 7 states away, so they're not thinking to look there, because his family also had no ties to Boston, Massachusetts. Massachusetts. So they turned to Delvonte's friends for insight, and they learned that his recent move to Charlotte to live with his dad instead of his mom in Baltimore hadn't been easy. He was having difficulties with his dad. He really wanted to go back to Baltimore to live with his mom.
Okay.
But the ROTC program was the highlight of Charlotte for him, and he was like, that wasn't something that was offered in Baltimore, and he really wanted to see this through. So 2 days before he disappeared, he volunteered at a fundraising event at a Renaissance festival.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, Renfest.
We should go to a Renaissance
I would
festival.
love to. Yeah, I would love to.
They have quite a few of them in the summer around here. Anyway, so
they do, yeah. And like,
we should get dressed up and everything.
Oh, yes. Oh my God, like fairies. Get fairy ears. Yeah. Oh my God.
I love
my books are coming to life. So when he got home from the Renfest, he got into an argument with his dad about chores and responsibilities in the home. And on the 14th, the night before he went missing, his dad said that he was going to take away his ROTC for now, until he agreed to basically do do things his way, Dad's way. And that's when he told his brother Daquan, like that was kind of the straw that broke the camel's back. Like, okay, if I don't even have ROTC here, I have no reason to be here. That was my one and only reason. So that's when he told his brother Daquan that he was leaving. Now, his brother Kenneth knew Delvonte was always the happiest in Baltimore, and that if he were to guess where he was trying to go, he would guess Baltimore to his family, to his mom.
Okay.
So how the fuck did he end up in Boston?
That's a good question.
Yeah. Okay.
Is that even like in the general? I'm not geographically.
I know. It's all East Coast.
Okay.
It's all East Coast. Police think that maybe he hitched a ride from someone in this county fair, this Renfest.
Okay.
But it was a 24-hour drive to Boston, and he was found 20 hours after. So there's 4 hours that are like he's 4 hours early, basically, if he were to drive.
Okay.
Which isn't, I mean, you could speed.
That rules out hot air balloon because
It does.
I don't feel like that would be fast enough. I'm so sorry.
How long did it take Buddy to get his house to the island in the movie Up? I don't know. With all this balloons. I don't know. It was helium though, not hot air.
Sorry.
So, but he was found 20 hours. So there's just
so it wasn't a hot air balloon.
It wasn't a hot air balloon.
And he probably didn't paraglide.
Probably not.
Is that the word? Paraglide?
Paraglide, yeah.
That far? I doubt it.
Yeah. So then they go and they talk to some of the fair people, and they just couldn't connect the dots. What they did know was that Delvonte had no car, had no money.
I have a new theory.
There's no train that went that way. The bus schedules don't match the timeline either. So the only other means of transportation is by air, but he has no money, and he's not listed on any passenger. He's not listed as a passenger on any flight.
But he knows people that have connections to aeroplanes.
Well, I don't know necessarily because like these are kids. ROTC program is just preparation for aviation and stuff like that. So other than like
they had planes to
no,
not
at 16. I think like my brother was in the Air Cadets.
Yeah, but like there would still be maybe an area where there was planes. Like I know when I was in cadets, it was on the Army base.
Okay.
Where there was
so maybe yeah.
Okay.
No, you're not wrong. Actually, you're not wrong.
I lived on an Army base.
I don't know how that program runs. Yeah. Right.
So, I mean, he probably wouldn't have had access to them himself, but he might have been able to find somebody who did.
Yeah. Yeah. So, anyways, there's so many fucking questions here. Okay, like. Crime scene isn't adding up. They would assume this is a murder, but the evidence doesn't
really
go that way,
you know? It doesn't seem like a...
Yeah. So November 29th, this guy, he's a CSI investigator, and his name is Kenneth Martin, not to be confused with Kenneth, the other brother.
Yeah.
This investigator, Kenneth Martin, is sent to investigate the body recovery site to look. Yeah. And he's just really good at looking at evidence and deciphering things. So
that's why he is an FBI investigator.
Yes. Well, CSI. He's not
CSI.
FBI, yeah.
Still, like he's literally trained to do that.
Yes, yeah. So he examines the blood spatter evidence, and it didn't match what you would expect to see in a hit by car case.
No.
So you would go. The blood spatter in a hit by car would go the same direction as the force of the impact, right?
Right.
So if you're hit, this is you, hit, blood goes.
Yeah, but if you go.
But his blood is going 50 feet to the fucking neighbor's door.
In all directions?
In all directions. Okay. Stains were radiating out circularly, 360 degrees.
So he fell from a really high, like.
The spatter matches a fall from a great height, just as the medical examiner said. Mm-hmm. So as Kenneth is standing there assessing the scene, an airplane goes over his head. It sounds crazy, but he's now thinking Delvonte may have fallen out of a plane.
Okay, my theory now too. Now that hot air balloon is rolled out.
So Delvonte is not on any flight manifest, as we already know. Mm-hmm. But Kenneth Martin has another theory because he's a smart fucking man, you know? So he had seen at least one case where someone had actually stowed away in the landing
I
gear
was
and
just
fallen
gonna
out.
say that to one of the planes on the base, maybe.
Yeah. Well, we'll get there.
Okay.
This is a leap, but one worth exploring because what other fucking options do they have at this point? Hot air balloons ruled out, hit by cars ruled out, murders ruled out. So there's this guy, Lieutenant Bill West. He gets involved in this here, okay? So it's a leap, one worth exploring. Lieutenant West, he contacts a friend who works at the Logan Airport in Boston, and he pulls up Google Earth and he puts a dot at the end of the runway. So first of all, Logan Airport has 2 different runways, and it depending on the wind, because it's right on the coast, right?
Yeah.
The East Coast. So depending on the direction of the wind or whatever is going to determine which runway they use.
Right.
And so on the night in question or the day in question that they believe Delvonte left or whatever, they used a runway that led directly to like where he was found, essentially. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So what he does is he pulls up Google Earth. He puts a dot at the end of that runway that he confirmed was used the night Delvonte left. And then he put a dot at the beginning of the runway and he set that line off into infinity to keep going in both directions, right?
Yeah.
But that line showed him he was able to do the infinite line from runway F4 from Logan Airport. And that line came within 3 fucking feet of where the body was found, 11 miles from the airport.
Oh, shit.
Isn't that fucking wild?
Is
So now they're sold on this theory.
Yeah.
But they have to prove that it's not just a coincidence. So where there are, so they have to decide, were there any planes around that time that went over that location? So they reached out to the FAA.
Oh, yeah. They'd be able to get that info,
Yeah.
man. They would.
Yeah. So
God,
there's
that's really, so are you saying that like the possibility of him doing that was only like he only made it 11 miles before?
No, it was because this was out of Boston Airport and he was found. Oh, no. Logan Airport.
Right.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because he was in Charlotte.
Sorry.
Charlotte, Massachusetts?
Yeah.
Yeah. No? Was it Charlotte, Massachusetts?
It was somewhere in Massachusetts, yeah. So
Sorry, now I'm second guessing myself here and I'm confused.
So
confused
sorry.
myself. No, don't be sorry.
Unless the plane had a layover.
No. And he's trying to fly to Baltimore.
Yeah.
Or he's trying to get to Baltimore. And then he's found in a suburb outside of Boston.
Anyways.
Okay, we'll keep going and then I'll figure out the logistics after because I'll have to look at a map. But so they've reached out to the FAA and they find that there are 3 different planes that went that direction that night and they narrowed it down to 1.
Oh shit.
And US Airways flight 1176 departed Charlotte at 7:16 and landed at Logan Airport at 8:55. Okay. So on the day that Delvonte was found. So this plane was right over Briarbrook at 8:52 p.m. and Briarbrook Street where he was found. And that was and it was at that time right over that point that they used their landing gear. Okay. So he gets on at Charlotte at 7:16 p.m. And then the plane landed at Logan at 8:55. And then he was going there. He made it a long way. He was only 11 minutes away or something like that from the airport. He was 11 minutes away. He didn't only make it 11 minutes.
If this theory is correct.
He was 11 minutes away. Yeah.
So he would have gotten dislodged during the landing gear.
Yeah. So detectives arranged to visit this 737 passenger jet. And as luck would have it, the wheel wells had not been touched since that flight. I don't want you to be alarmed. It was scheduled for maintenance. It was scheduled to be cleaned because normally they clean out the wheel wells and everything like that. Yeah. But they pulled it out of that schedule and in order to investigate it. So they just made it. Police examined the left main landing gear, and they decided that you could easily make your way up into the wheel well. And like, he's an athletic 16-year-old boy. So like, he's a little spider monkey, basically. But you wouldn't need the assistance of anybody else. There's enough to hang on to, and you can climb up, and there's pipes and everything all up in there that you can hang on to. So,
God, this is...
yeah. So they take a look up in there, and they find shoe impressions and hand marks that were found around, like on the door and stuff like that of this wheel well. And these impressions were made with grease. And so they took grease samples, and there's specific grease that's used for airlines. So they're figuring, well, if we can match the grease to something on his person, which they haven't found anything. He was missing his shirt. He was missing his shoes. But let's take a sample just in case. So, and he was, I just want to mention that he was 3,000 feet in the air when the landing gear deployed. Mm-hmm.
This is so tragic.
I know. It got me. It got me. So less than a month after after Delvonte was found, a local SWAT team is sent to walk the flight path to search for missing clothing based on this theory that this is what happened, right? So there's about 80 officers working overtime to do this.
Walking from fucking Charlotte to...
No, just
Logan, or
no, just the flight, like just where he was found.
Okay.
But walking the flight path of that area.
Okay.
Right? Yeah. And if he was 3,000 feet in the air when the landing gear was deployed, the velocity of his fall, things are going to fall off. True. So they have to check a large area, right? So 80 officers and a couple canine teams, they find a shoe within 20 minutes in the middle of the woods. And then they found the matching one. And then they found the red shirt 100 feet up.
Oh, no.
And they were pretty certain they were his shoes, because when they were at his house looking through his room and stuff, what was his name? Daquan, told them, like, well, these are things that he normally has and these are missing, or this is what he left in. And
one of them was obviously the type of shoes that he wears.
Yeah.
Because
yes,
boys remember shoes.
So they find all that stuff, and then DNA testing confirms that it's Delvonte's. They did test the grease, and although it wasn't conclusive, it was consistent with the same type of grease.
So he did have grease on his...
Yeah.
Okay.
Which again is
man,
incidental if it's not what we think it is, right?
What would, like, I just, like, imagine how desperate he was.
Seriously, that is the word that came up in this documentary.
Yeah,
the desperation.
That was how he decided to get away.
Yeah.
And get to where he wanted to go. Like,
so at this point the theory is confirmed, but they still don't know how he died. But detectives do believe that he was dead before he fell to the ground, and the most likely cause is by the altitude of the plane and the conditions at that altitude, which sorry, my crinkling
very
papers
unfortunate
here.
But that's a total saving grace.
So high altitude leads to two things. Number one, low air temperature. So per 1,000 feet, temperature can decrease 3.5 to 5.5 degrees Fahrenheit. And this flight reached an altitude of 30,000 feet within 15 minutes of takeoff. At those altitudes, temperatures could be as low as 50 to 70 degrees below 0 Fahrenheit.
Oh.
And the wheel wells are not insulated.
Oh my God.
Like the cabin is, right? So hypothermia would set in quite quickly. Number two is low oxygen level. The wheel wells are not pressurized like the cabin of an airplane. So hypoxia would lead to confusion, heart irregularity, and cause the skin to turn blue. So it's likely these two things that he succumbed to.
So even if he had made it, the possibility of him being alive when he landed was pretty slim.
Yeah. And he seemed to be, from what they could tell when they took a look at the wheel well, it looked like as though he had wrapped himself around the wheel.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he was huddling to try and stay, like, who knows? Because obviously when you're losing brain cells due to hypoxia and low oxygen, you're not thinking, right?
No.
And so he's probably just trying to find a comfortable position or something. And, when that wheel well opened, he just fell.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So he
But
succumbed to both of those things. And his brother, Kenneth, says that his one solace is that at least he wasn't alive when he fell and made
agreed.
contact with the ground.
That would have
So,
even, like, being alive for the falling part,
yeah.
like,
Oh,
that
yeah.
being your last
Terrifying.
moments.
Yeah.
I mean, his last moments were not great.
Yeah. So they think, like you said, this was an act of desperation. Like,
Oh,
you're 16 years old, you feel invincible, you are studying aviation and all this, and you are devastated to learn that your father's taking this opportunity away from you,
yeah.
and you're just already at odds with your dad and you're ready to go back to your mom. So
Yeah.
you
Mm,
are at your wit's end here. So how did he get to the airport into the wheel well is the question. So CSI, crime scene investigators, had found bits of broken plastic at the scene, and they sent to a lab, and it was determined to be like a hotel key card to a hotel called Doubletree nearby in Charlotte. So some friends from the Ren Fest were staying there, and the hotel staff, when investigators went to chat with them, they confirmed that he was there and that he took the free shuttle to the Charlotte International Airport at one point.
oh,
So the night that he left his dad's house, this is the series of events that they feel happened. So he leaves his dad's house at 1:30. He goes to the Doubletree. He spends most of his day there, like the rest of the night and the most of his day there. And then he takes a free shuttle to the airport for that evening flight. And he gets off the bus. He sees a plane on the tarmac, and like there's no way for him to know what plane is going where.
no.
So I don't know. Yeah, he just sees a plane and he wants to go. So he breaches the fence and he sneaks into the plane.
God, that seems wild to me because what if
To
you got on a
not.
plane to, like, Japan and that's, like, a fucking 12-hour
Right. So
flight?
I don't know if, like, I mean, that seems just too coincidental that there's no way that he could have known what plane to take, but also
Yeah.
he ended up on a plane that would have taken him exactly where he wanted to go. No,
Yeah,
because he
he
was
must have
going.
known.
No, because he was going. He wanted to go to Baltimore, but he was that flight was actually headed for Boston.
Right.
So I guess that doesn't make sense. He probably didn't know. But yeah, what if, and then he would have been in the ocean and nobody would have ever found him
Yeah, that's wild.
if the landing gear deploys before. You never know.
But
I
he
don't know.
also could have gone into the airport, looked at the screen, like, it tells you which plane, and the planes have the numbers on them. Like, he might
True.
have
Or Googled
known.
it or something.
Like, he
2010,
may have
maybe.
known where
Yeah.
he was going.
Yeah, he may have. So
He might have had a game plan after that, but,
he might have,
like,
yeah.
that's so sad. I'm so sad. Like, that's that poor guy, poor kid.
And then, oh yeah, survivors of wheel well stowaway attempts are exceedingly rare. And those
Yeah.
who do survive often suffer long-term physical and neurological damage. So don't fucking do it.
Yeah, that's wild. Like, and in his, like, courses, wouldn't he kind of learn that kind of stuff? Maybe not.
Maybe not at that point. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. But the central question of how Delvonte managed to breach airport security and access the aircraft's wheel well has been the subject of extensive investigation as well and debate. Charlotte Douglas International Airport, one of the nation's busiest, is surrounded by a 19-mile, 6-foot-high chain-link fence topped with barbed wire.
I was going to say it's probably barbed wire on it too.
Security measures include patrols, surveillance cameras, and access controls, but the airport's police force was notably small, only about 42 officers at the time, the smallest among the top 20 U.S. airports. Investigators concluded that he likely entered the airport grounds by exploiting a vulnerability in the perimeter of the fence.
A hole in the fence.
Mm-hmm. Reports indicate that there were multiple breaches of the fence in the years preceding the incident, including holes, open gates, and areas obscured by overgrown vegetation. Some areas just had like there was a hole and then there's just a piece of fence like zip tied over top of that hole. Great. An Associated Press investigation found 6 documented perimeter breaches at Charlotte Douglas in the previous decade, and some officials speculated that Delvonte may have used an overhanging tree or a gap in the fence to gain access. And then once inside the perimeter, he would have had to navigate the tarmac undetected and approach the aircraft. So there's like so many points where he could have been found,
Yeah.
And I'm just saying, like, this was just a kid trying to get home to his mom.
Yeah.
This could have been a terrorist.
Or a terrorist organization, multiple.
Right?
But
Yeah.
like, don't they have surveillance on the tarmac?
Right. Like,
Wouldn't they have been able to see him cross?
I don't know the range of these cameras, or I don't know who's watching them. And if they only have 42 officers patrolling like this entire fence line, then it's hard to say. But U.S. Airways Flight 1176 had reportedly been idle for 37 minutes before departure, providing a window of opportunity. And the lack of surveillance footage capturing his entry or movement on the tarmac raised further questions about the adequacy of the security protocols. So it's maybe you have them, but maybe they don't fucking work.
Clearly they don't.
Yeah. So the initial response to the discovery of Delvonte's body was led by the Milton Police Department, which treated the scene as a potential homicide due to the severity of the injuries, and investigators canvassed the neighborhood. Canvassed, that's the word that I was looking for.
Yes.
Canvassed the neighborhood.
Yes.
Witnesses. Yeah, they talked to the witnesses and everything. I already said that. Sorry, I'm jumping all around here.
Okay.
Blah, blah, blah. So anyways, the family tried to do like a civil suit or something about like the breach in security. And if security was actually good, they would have caught him. This wouldn't have happened. I don't think that they won that suit though. Yeah. The Transportation Service and the Transportation Security Administration, or the TSA, and Federal Aviation Administration, FAA, launched parallel investigations into the security breach at Charlotte Douglas International Airport. The TSA, responsible for approving and inspecting airport security plans, worked with local authorities to assess vulnerabilities and recommend improvements. The FAA, concerned with the safety and integrity of aviation operations, reviewed the incident in the context of broader trends in perimeter security breaches and stowaway attempts. So key findings and actions included confirmation of multiple perimeter breaches at Charlotte Douglas in the preceding decade, identification of gaps in surveillance coverage and patrol frequency, recommendations for enhanced fencing, surveillance, and access controls, and calls for a national review of airport perimeter security standards and practices. Congressional hearings in 2011 highlighted the incident as emblematic of systemic weaknesses in airport security, with lawmakers and experts expressing concern over the lack of unified national strategy, inconsistent standards, and insufficient resources for perimeter protection. All these places should have the same level of security.
For sure. Especially after like 9/11.
Yeah.
You would think that
exactly
they would beef up their security.
Yeah. Here we go. In the aftermath of the tragedy, Delvonte's parents, Anthony and Jeanette, filed a wrongful death lawsuit against the city of Charlotte, Charlotte Douglas International Airport, U.S. Airways, and its subsidiary American West Airlines. The suit alleged that the defendants had failed to provide adequate security, failed to follow applicable guidelines and procedures, and failed to warn of the dangers associated with accessing restricted areas and boarding an aircraft as a stowaway. I don't know where you're going to warn of that.
Yeah.
Like on the wheel well? I don't know. I think that's
into the wheel well. Also, there's a big sticker that says warning.
Like, I'm sorry, but I think that it's an inherent, like, pretty obvious that you shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
And I think that at this point, Delvonte was just desperate enough not to care. And he thought that maybe his knowledge of aviation would protect him in that.
Yeah,
right?
that's fair.
So the family sought compensation and punitive damages for the pain and suffering experienced by Delvonte, as well as funeral expenses. Their attorney argued that the city and airport had a duty to secure the facility and prevent unauthorized access, particularly by minors. However, in March 2013, Superior Court Judge Hugh Lewis dismissed the lawsuit, ruling that there was no evidence to suggest that the city had acted willfully or wantonly, the legal standard required for liability in cases involving trespassers. The judge found that Delvonte Tisdale, Delvonte himself had been negligent in entering a secured area and climbing into the wheel well, and that the city owed a duty of care to the general public, but not to those who intentionally breached security. I can understand that.
So
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah. The family's attorney expressed frustration with the decision and indicated an intention to appeal, but the ruling has stood as the final legal outcome. And that is pretty much all that I want to talk about.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Wow.
There's some similar stowaway cases and historical context.
Yeah. Let's hear them.
So there's Keith Sapsford, 1970. He was a 14-year-old Australian boy who felt his death from a Japan Airlines DC-8 after stowing away in the wheel well. Armando Socaras Ramirez in 1969. He was a Cuban teenager who survived a flight from Havana to Madrid in a DC-8 wheel well. Both of those were DC-8s.
Yeah.
One of the few known survivors. Recent cases in the 2020s, multiple incidents involving stowaways falling from aircraft or being discovered dead in wheel wells, including cases in New York, Miami, and Chicago.
So this is a thing that just happens regularly?
Apparently, yeah.
Oh my Lord.
I wouldn't say regularly, but
like, I mean, in the 2020s, there's a few cases. Like, this isn't something that just happened like once or twice in history.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
this is like this would be within the last 6 years, right?
Exactly.
Or yeah.
It's very interesting that the two cases that you mentioned, as well as Delvonte, sorry, are teenagers.
Yeah, I know.
That's strange.
I was going to say that too. A 14-year-old, a teenager. It doesn't say the ages of these people in the 2020s, but like these poor boys, man, like take care of your boys.
Yeah. I'd like to know how Armando Ramirez is doing.
I know.
Because you said that
1969.
There has been survivors, but they have lots
severe
of
brain damage.
Yeah.
Neurological issues and other issues, other health issues. So this story, I kind of like, I was watching the show, and I kind of fell asleep, and then I kind of woke up to this case, and it was kind of in the middle, and I was like, what? And so I had to restart it, and then I rewatched it again today and took some notes and everything, and I worked on my notes on the computer a day or two ago. Not on my off time.
Yeah. Not while working.
Never. But yeah, it was so tragic. I just had to tell it.
This is so tragic. Thank you, Christy. I've never heard of this.
I know, it was completely different. Hey,
it was very different, and I feel bad about.
I know that poor boy.
About the hot air balloon.
Don't. Can't be worse than it's like a lasagna. Yeah. That was the funeral home one. Yep.
Yes.
Oh my God. Anyways,
guys.
so we have some news about things, the way things look going forward. Megan, do you want to take it away on this?
So we've decided to make, because of how infrequently we have been releasing episodes lately, we've decided that going forward, microbrews are going to be independent, just to kind of fill the gaps in which we can't get together to do a full episode. So starting now, you will occasionally hear a solo mini episode from Christy or myself. that's just going to be told. Oh my God, told in story form, basically. Just to kind of keep you guys keep us engaged with you guys when we while we're going through.
Because this way, when we have to miss a week, then we
Yeah.
can still release
Yeah.
something, and then also we know that. Oh, my face is bleeding.
So you'll get to know Christy and I a little
Yeah.
bit independently too. So,
And we know that there's people out there who have different tastes in their podcasts. Like
Yeah.
personally, I like the story
Banter
narrative
one.
version, and I like the banter
Yeah.
version. So it really just depends on the podcast. But we
Yeah.
thought that this would be a good way to offer you guys both.
Yeah.
So then you can listen as you like. And if
Yeah.
you don't like it, then go fuck yourself. I don't know what to tell you.
Don't
listen.
episodes, or if you like it better, then just listen to those episodes. Like,
Yeah.
just to kind of make sure that we're able to get things out to you guys more frequently. We've made the decision to pop on and do some solo episodes to kind of fill the gaps.
Mm-hmm. And then there.
Yeah.
So there, we're thinking of making a change with Patreon as well. We're thinking of not having it right now.
Yeah.
The reason is because we do release our episodes early on Patreon. Our full episode is available if you're a paid member, as well as any bonus content, which we don't have a whole ton of at the moment. Microbrews are also available early, but they are also free.
Yeah.
So all you need is a free subscription. At this point in time, I think that we both decided that it's more important to focus on delivering content to our people, like in a wide range.
Yeah.
So we're just going to move the video to, because that was another perk of Patreon is the videos.
Yeah.
But we're just going to move the videos to YouTube.
For free.
Nothing's going to be behind a paywall.
Yeah.
We're just here for you guys and to interact with you. So that's the thought process.
Yeah. We're just, try to make it a little bit more, to get us a little bit more frequent and to kind of
more accessible.
Yeah.
Let us know, what do you think about that? Like, send us an email or like message us on an app, or like shoot us a comment. I don't know. Well, you can find us on our socials.
We're on Instagram and Facebook as Homebrew Murder Crew.
We are not going to mention Patreon right now.
We're not on Patreon anymore.
Oh my God, I should find what YouTube is here.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me see what the YouTube is.
That's the new guys. You can find us on YouTube now. So you can watch us for
Yes, we are on YouTube at Homebrew Murder Crew Podcast, I think.
Yeah.
And then, you can email us at homebrewmurdercrew@gmail.com. Let us know what you think about these changes, and let us know what you think about our show. Let us know what you think about us. It's okay. We can handle it, even though I probably can't, and I'll cry. But that's not your fault.
She's going through some shit, guys. So be kind, okay? Just be kind right now. And if you can't be kind, just know that we're gonna cry silently to ourselves.
My coworker, I need to find this lyric really quickly before we let you go. Don't judge me while I type this in.
Oh Lord.
Oh. Okay, so my coworker sent me this video or something on Instagram, and it had this this song in it. It's by Taylor Swift. I guess it's called "I Can Do It with a Broken Heart." But there's a lyric in it that says, "I cry a lot, but I am so productive." And I'm like, that is me.
Yeah.
Like, I cry at work like a lot this year, and
That's okay.
Oh my God. Oh, okay.
Are we still recording? Oh yeah, I forgot we were recording on the computer. Like, that's fine that your computer froze.
But anyways, I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
Anyways, okay, we will let you guys go. I guess.
And we'll see you guys next. We'll talk to you guys. You will hear from us.
We got
next
some things.
Week.
Yes. Okay. Somehow.
Whether it is the both of us or just one of us, you will get
one way or another.
Murder Crew.
Yeah.
Next weekend.
Yeah.
Next week. Sorry. Next week.
Yeah. Okay.
So thank you for listening.
Happy Easter. I hope you guys had a happy Easter. I mean, because it's past then now, but yeah.
I know.
Okay.
For those of you who got the day off, I hope you had a wonderful long weekend. My
4
work
days.
gave me a whole, Did you get Monday off?
Yeah. Did you?
Yeah. But like a lot of people didn't.
I know.
So
Nolan didn't, and then he's like, well, I'm just going to fucking take it off. I'm like,
Martin decided to work on Monday. And I'm
good.
Like, yes, I get a day. It was the kids come home early, but I get a day to myself.
The boy is home on Monday too, so he doesn't have daycare.
And I got the dogs, so.
Anyways,
love them.
Till next week.
Thank
Bye.
You. Bye.